Hello there, you are listening to The Screen Queen, where you'll be finding your favorite movie or your favorite television show and learning something new. You'll just have to listen to find out. Here is your host, Samantha Parrish. Hello there and welcome back to the show. As always, my name is Samantha Parrish and you are listening to The Screen Queen. So, I'm gonna bend my rules a little bit for Anniversary August because I couldn't wait to talk about this movie. I have chewed my friends' ears off talking about Flight Risk, and I need to just talk about it. I'm hoping this can be under 10 minutes. So, I went to go see Twisters with my best friends Jenna and Carla, and the first thing I see for one of the previews is a plane, and I'm like, all right, what's up? And I see Mark Wahlberg, and I'm like, all right, what's up? And like, I'm a big Wahlberg fan. I have loved his movies since I first saw him in Fear, which is going to definitely play a key element into my commentary about this trailer. So Flight Risk follows a U.S. Marshal that is just doing part of her job. All she's got to do is get a witness to testify in court. It seems like a good idea to just get a charter plane and fly him over there. What could possibly go wrong? It appears to be that this is going to be an easygoing thing. You got a witty Southern pilot and the U.S. Marshal just trying to kind of get through it all. But the witness finds something a little unsettling in this closed environment. He looks down and sees the pilot ID. The pilot ID does not match the pilot. And the pilot quickly catches on to that. And then chaos ensues. The U.S. Marshal has to take control and seize the plane. And she has to make the announcement on the airwaves that the pilot is a hitman sent by the mafia that the witness was going to testify for. It's like, it just keeps getting worse in this closed environment. So in the trailer, it is noted about who is directing this film. It says, from the director of Braveheart, Apocalypto, and Hacksaw Ridge. And I'm like, Mel fucking Gibson is doing this? A part of me is surprised for a good reason. Mel Gibson, he's had his fair share of controversies, and I can't ignore that. But I also can't ignore that the man does know how to make a good fucking movie. Just with the films mentioned within the trailer, it gives an example about Mel Gibson's films that they're very grandesque. They are very scenic. Like, it is a visual work of art what he does behind the camera. But this is going to be a different film because we're not going to be in one environment. Our environment is the plane. And we're hoping to God that the plane doesn't crash into a hostile environment. So I like the idea of the way he's playing around with his environments for this film. I can't get enough of Mark Wahlberg playing a villain. It's almost ironic that the very first Mark Wahlberg film was Fear, and I didn't even know what his name was at that point, but I never forgot how he played every father's worst nightmare. And having that introduction to him as an actor has followed me in the films that I've seen of his. And to see this kind of circle back to that same sociopathic, charming, wicked smart villain that I loved in Fear, and I might get to see that again, albeit a different version, a Southern version. But Mark Wahlberg is severely underrated. I know he gets made fun of for, his voice, like the Boston thing, but, I don't hear any Boston in that voice, so he is a very underrated villain. And he's still, no matter what he's done, people remember him doing the Nicole Forever on his chest, so I wonder what nightmare fuel he's going to bring to this villain. But the other thing that also drew my attention is the cover of Psycho Killer. I feel like that really set the tone immediately before we were even introduced to Mark Wahlberg being the villain. Like, it kind of made you wonder, okay, who's the threat here? Like, this is already an unsettling film. A trailer that doesn't waste time getting you to know what's going on is doing something right. Like, that's so simple, it almost hurts. I am so looking forward to this. This is making all the smart moves that I look for in a movie. But the other thing that shocked me, that was right under my nose, was finding out that Topher Grace is in this. He's the witness. It took one of my friends pointing that out to me, that Topher Grace was in this, to make me go, where? Like, this is a very closed-off film. Where in the hell is he? I've only seen 3 people, and he's the witness. I felt so shocked. Either I didn't realize that Topher Grace is getting old, or they made him look older for this film. Because if you look at him, he doesn't look like he usually does. But I think it also helps for the fact that you don't focus too much time on the witness because you're too busy looking at Mark Wahlberg's fake receding hairline and his southern accent in this trailer. I like how there are so many things distracting me in this trailer that I can find other things to look forward to with this film. It is a very underrated idea of having an airplane be your thrilling zone. I mean, we've had our fair share of plane movies, but we rarely get charter plane films where you have more of a closed environment, knowing one false move, we all go down. And the last time I saw a film that gave that type of chill and thrill was the movie Trapped. And this is a tiny spoiler for that film, but there's a scene in there where Charlize Theron and Stuart Townsend are in a charter plane, and unfortunately, they have to make a phone call that lasts 30 seconds. But they can't have that plane play in the background of this phone call. So they have to turn the plane off and let it just kind of fall while this phone call is taking place. Like, it's a heart attack. And it makes me wonder if that one scene from Trapped is going to be the whole span of Flight Risk. And God, I hope it is. I am counting down the days until October 18th until I can see this grungy version of Mark Wahlberg terrify me at 10,000 feet. I'm so psyched for it. It's going to intensify my fear of flying, and I am totally okay with that. But if you have any thoughts about Flight Risk, please message me on my Instagram so we can talk about this more. Please feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram at the Queen of the Screen. This Friday is the premiere of The Swan Princess on the Screen Queen, so set your calendars because we have a lot to talk about for that film. This is your Screen Queen, taking off. Bye-bye!